Time to give you all a personal story. Back in the day I did a tournament and thought I was onto an absolute brainwave. I took the beast that is Regigigas, as it was considered illegal at the time. Yes, it has a rubbish ability that stops it being the king called Slow Start. This means for the first 5 turns it has its attack and speed half, which is massive, especially when you're trying to run with this lazy git. I'm going back to Gen 4 and I'm going to be starting playing Pokemon Pearl. Now I know I could be playing Patamon, but I wanted to see what Pearl was like because it's been a while since I've played it. The rules remain the same as usual. I only use Regigigas, blah 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 blah, we all know it. As always, if you do like these videos, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. I hope to do these videos every 3 weeks. Now I call myself HBT and I call my rival Titwank because he really is a little titwank. I start the game and get told to go to Titwank's house, which in itself makes me chuckle. He says we need to go to the lake and then he'll find me 10 million Pokedollars if I'm late. Where do you think I've got that sort of money, sunshine? We head to the lake where we see the professor leave his suitcase behind. Like, how does that happen? Surely one of the two of you would go, oh bugger, better not leave this here. When we go pick up the briefcase and take it back to its owner, we get mobbed by 2 killer Starlies. The suitcase magically opens to reveal 3 Pokeballs, and the almighty god inside is Regigigas. Regigigas wipes the Starly out in 1, and then Titwank argues that his Pokemon is stronger than mine. What? Are you kidding? We meet the professor who runs off to his lab and does not reclaim his Pokemon. The way he ran makes you think he's been rumbled for a crime. He probably has, seeing as he is just casually carrying around a legendary Pokemon. My mom tells me to go to his lab and apologise for any damage that I've caused. However, Rowan just gives me the Reggie to keep and I call him Dave. Why call him Dave? Well, it's actually linked to its ability Slow Start. See, it's like this. We all know a mate called Dave, and more often than not, he's a bit boring. However, once I had a few drinks in him, Dave is the life and the soul of the party. I go and start my new journey with a legendary beast in hand and check its nature. Modest. Modest. Come on! This is the worst nature for it to have, as Dave is a physical attacker. So now Dave has rubbish speed and attack. I meet Dawn, who fancies teaching me how to catch Pokemon. Nah, you're okay, thanks love. I face my first trainer and it takes 3 stomps to beat a Starly. 3! I also realise I have to cope with the fact that the experience needed for Dave is way higher than normal due to it being a legendary. I arrive in the city to look for something to do and actually fail to do anything for quite a while. I end up going to the school and give the Titwank his map, and then leave and go round and find stupid clowns. What a waste of absolute time. I head north of the city having achieved nothing and fight more trainers, including God v God. I then go back on myself and go east to fight the Tit again. He starts with Starly, who Dave is able to Mega Punch in 2 hits. Next is Chimchar, who also falls in 2. He then tells me he's going to the gym to toughen up. Oh, okay, looks like that's where I'm going then. I enter the Orbberg gate and give him Rock Smash. Oh, come on, at least make me work for a HM. I quickly go to the city and we see the Tit outside the gym, but the leader's not there. I go deep in the mine and tell Roark to get their ass back into the gym. At first I wasn't sure how I felt about this gym, as Dave is bulky, but didn't really have any great moves to deal damage with. We arrive at the better version of Brock, who starts with a Geodude. I use Confuse Ray on it and started stomping, but this isn't working and I get beaten by a Geodude. I do manage to get the win, but the Onyx is in next, who finishes me off with the Rock Throw. I try again, and this time I do get through the Geodude thanks to Confusion and Stomp flinches. Onyx has the same thing happen, and it does take me down to half health. Next is Craniados, who I confuse again, but nearly faint to a headbutt. I hang on and stomp on its head to get the win. In my mind at the time this would be one of the hardest gym battles in the game, but there is often so much going in my head I can barely think forwards. I meet yet again my rival, who tells me to get a bike. Well, you gotta pay for it then, mate? I ignore him and head back the way we came and go through to Jubilee City, where we see Rowan being pestered by Team Galactic, although he does not give the rant he did before, and with little ease we take them out. I carry on north to go to the Ravenge Path, and with Rock Smash I can carry on through. After fighting my way through a few trainings, we get to Flamora Town and have to save the little girl's father. After we picked up the drop key from these idiots, I head inside the works and come face to face with the first mini-boss, the Galactic Rep, Mars. She sends out Zubat, who has the speed over Dave and used Toxic, so I manage to stomp me to death. Her fat cat uses Fake Out, which means I'm beaten by bloody poison. I hate that cat. I go back and try again, and this time I get rid of the Zubat with no poison hitting me. Fat Cat is a bit easier with no poison affecting me, and I can Mega Punch it in 2. Mars bugger off rather than, I don't know, breaking my legs or something, and with that we save the professor, and apparently the balloon Pokemon could come again. I wonder what she means by that. We head north again. This slow start stuff is really starting to do my head in. Thank God I have Confuse Ray to help delay things. I battle my way to Eternia Forest and meet Cheryl to get my free healer to tag along. This means Dave is getting easy experience, which all helps. By the time we get through, Dave is now a nice level 21, which gave me a lot of hope going forward. I arrive in Eternia City and get told by the gym leader Gardenia that I have to go through a garden to face her. I get it, you're a grass type gym leader, stop throwing it down my face. After a lot of annoying hide and seek nonsense, the garden itself makes an appearance. She starts with Cherubi, which is just annoying. It uses Leech Seed, which eventually puts me on a timer. I get rid of it with Mega Punch and out comes Turtwig. I confuse the thing and hope for the best. After those 5 turns, Dave got his act together and missed the Mega Punch, which meant I was sapped. Sapped, I tell you! I try again and this time get lucky with confusion and flinching, which means I got to Turtwig fresh. I get all my power back, which means I can finish it. Finally it is Roserade who gets the confused treatment before getting punched in the face for a one-hit KO. 2 badges done and Dave is still really getting warmed up. We go outside to meet Cynthia and she gives me Cut. What is it with this game and just giving me random stuff? But now I have Cut, I can go into the Galactic building uninvited to cut their stupid hair. After fighting to the top, we find out we are here to save some Pokemon from the next commander, Jupiter. She sends out Zubat, so I get rid of it in 1. Next is Skuntank, which really doesn't offer much, and I punch it to sleep. As a reward for saving his Clefairy, the random guy says, "Come to my bike shop and I'll give you a free bike." What are the chances of this happening? Pokemon logic. I head south on my new bike and head down a big cycling bridge to fight people on their bike. Surely this isn't the place for a Pokemon battle. However, here I learn Superpower, which is huge for our mate Dave, as it is such a powerful last resort sort of thing. With my cycling done, I meet Dawn, who gives me a dowsing machine and Versus Seeker, you guessed it, for free. Surely those devices cost an absolute fortune. I then head east into Mount Cornet where we meet with Cyrus just spouting random nonsense before he walks off. With nothing left to do, I keep going until I get to Hearthome City. Whilst here, I meet with Fatina, who tells me I'm not yet strong enough to fight her. Surely that's my choice, and as a gym leader, it's your responsibility to fight anyone who walks through your door. We then have to fight Titwank, who I've really not seen for a while. I wonder who he's been annoying. Starly goes down in 1 punch, Monferno needs 2 smacks, as does Buzzle. 1 more punch is needed to see off Roselia, and that is the end of our swift reunion. I decide to head east where I have to fight a Bonsley! Oh come on, he knows I'm going to beat him. After a short trip, we arrive in Solossian Town, which I skip through just to fight all the trainers on one of the longest bits in the game. I then remember I have to go back to the graveyard site and go through... Hang on, did I have to do this on a Pichu run? I have to run from the ghost because I have nothing to fight them, and this will come back to bite me in the arse, I know. I get to the top and get HM for strength off some random old women, and at least I actually do something to get this key item. I go back through the trainers again to get to Veilstone City, where we have a walk around and meet Dawn, who's dropped her Pokedex. So I ignore her plight and enter the gym, which I immediately remembered as a fighting gym. This is not a good scenario for poor Dave due to its typing and its low speed. Unlike the Platinum version, Pearl has moving sliding fences along to make my way through the gym leader Maylene. She first sends out Meditite and it uses Protect, but it also has Drain Punch, which isn't going to help at all. I get lucky with the confusion and flinch to see it off, but by the time the battle against the Machoke starts, Dave has got his act together, which would help dramatically. I do get rid of it, but I was leered prior and now I'm on low health and it is the Lucario last. All this thing needs to do is Mac Punch me, but it oddly doesn't, which opens up to being hit by Superpower. That was the one gym battle I thought I would need a lot of grinding to win. We leave the gym and go help May with her Pokedex back from Team Galactic. You could just call the police, really. You should do, to be honest. Although I've proven time and time again that they are just non-existent in these games. After I push the butterflies aside, I get it back for her and have a little walkie around their properties, but don't really get anything. I then head south, but I'm done in by the ghost because all I have to fight them is Confuse Ray. Luckily, I'm in the right spot to buy some new moves to give to our new mate Dave. So after some oohing and ahhing, I go for the power of Thunder to make Dave a pure god. Well, let's be honest, may as well make up for that modest nature. With them beaten, it means I can fight even more people to make all my way to Pastoria City. I heal up and go down to the water gym, and there's not much changes from the Platinum version, except Dave is, as I said, the Thunder God. We get to Waker, and I think I'm going to be okay here. By this point, I'm level 37. The Wrestler starts off with Gyarados, and Thunder gets rid of it in 1. Quagsire is next, and I got a critical hit return. Floatzel is then hit with a Thunder to make it zap off. Easy peasy. I then have to try and remember what the hell I should be doing next. Better just load this, hang on. Okay, didn't realise I had to go there. Okay. Like, how the hell did I figure this out as a kid? After wandering around for ages, I pick up Fly and then go back to Pastoria City where I see this grunt mumbling to himself. This leaves me bumping into the twit who wants another go. He sends out Starly, who I one-shot with Thunder. Monferno is taken out in 2, Roselia in 1, Buzzle then gets zapped, and Dave is finding this a bit too easy now. I follow the grunt around and I smash him once he stops running. Cynthia then sends me on a complete detour to go help some Psyducks rather than, I don't know, catch the terrorist who clearly has a bomb to blow up stuff. Now due to my stupidity, I go help some Psyducks and move them out the way. I fight all the trainers on the way to Celeste Town and hit a grunt to move them out the way. The old deer gives me a history lesson about the 3 useless spirits, but then she gives me HM Surf to carry on my adventure. When we come out, I meet Cyrus, who just says hello and buggers off. He is so poorly written in this game, like really bad. Thank God for Platinum. I head back to Hearthome City to fight a certain gym leader who thought she was too good for us. This gym is nowhere near as fun as the one in Platinum, so I don't really give it any time at all. I get to Fantina, who sends out a Drifblim, and I thunder it in 1 shot. Next is Gengar, which also needs a thunder, but I end up hitting myself in the face rather than hitting it. I try again and get through the Gengar and get to Miss Magimus, you know, the ghost with pearls, and then Shockwave it to death. When did I learn Shockwave? I honestly can't remember when this happened. Look, I recorded this a long time ago, things have happened, things have changed, and if you guys can remember what you were doing 100 days ago, then bravo. With Surf in hand, we now go west to play in the water, fight some more trainers and arrive in Canalave City when we meet our rival Tit, and I remember this could be one monster of a time. Starly is now Staravia, but is Shockwave in 1. Heracross is smashed in 2 waves, Monferno is returned in 2, Buizel gets a Shockwave, and finally it is Roselia, and 1 return is enough, but this time it was quite close. I go straight for the gym, and this is a steel gym, which means I should be superpowering everything I can see. After a lot of superpowering, I get to Byron, who I like as a gym leader, but unfortunately, he's easily forgotten. He starts with Bronzor, and I Shockwave to get rid of it. The mighty Steelix goes down in 1 superpower, and Bastiodon is also felled with 1 mighty blow to receive my latest badge. I leave the gym and meet with a Tit who tells me to go to the library. Now whilst here, we get told to go find some spirits, and then we feel the power of a bomb at Lake Valor, which makes you think, how big is that bomb? Like seriously, that has to be so powerful to feel the effects what is effectively another city. We go to the lake and see it's been blown sky high and meet with Saturn, who starts with Kadabra, who is easily dealt with. The Toxicroak nearly gets rid of me, but I'm able to get away with it. Finally is Bronzor and it falls in 1 hit. With that I get the hint of where to go next, so I head back to where it all started at my home lake, where we have to fight Mars again. Her Golbat is shocked away, as is her Bronzor. Finally is her Fat Cat and 1 superpower does the job. I now need to head north of Mount Cornet to get to the final lake, which involves some cave exploring and then some fun in the snow. After making many snowmen, I see the lake blocked off by 2 grunts, who for some reason I can't get past, which makes no bloody sense. I have a Regigigas, like how are they stopping that? Surely Regigigas could just gently brush them aside with little effort as a fart. I decided to take a detour to fight the gym leader and do the annoying snowball puzzle. No matter how many times I do this, I always forget how to do it. Eventually I get to Candice and she is very, very forgettable. Snova comes out and it really isn't much of a problem. Medicham could have been a problem but actually isn't, and the big boy Omnislow gets hit with a superpower to make it say bye bye along with Sneasel. Well, no problems for that one. For some reason the grunts have now moved out of the way to witness the aftermath of Tit's battle against Jupiter. I head straight to Team Galactic's headquarters and honestly this is just cannon fodder for Dave who runs riot with ease, and by the time I get to Cyrus I'm now level 53. He starts with Murkrow, who is felled with 1 Shockwave, Golbat needs 2 hits and his Sneasel is taken out 1 superpower. Man, I actually hate Cyrus in this game, like I actually make him the worst bad guy in the series, pre-Platinum I should quickly add. I quickly beat Saturn to free the Lake Trio. Cyrus should have just shot them in the head to be honest, like it's brutal but means they're not a threat to his plans. With this done, I go back to Mount Cornet to climb to the top where we witness Cyrus summon one of my favourite Pokemons, Palika. Just look at that beautiful boy! Although to be fair, he is potentially giving the world a seizure with that light show. And before I can stop his plans, I have a double battle with my best buddy to fight Mars and Jupiter. The battle just annoys me because of how rubbish their Pokemon are. You know what, you don't even deserve coverage of this. Palika then starts pooing Sparkles and then Spirits rock up to clean after him. It just looks a bit silly really. But it looks like they've stopped the master plan, so I have to fight Cyrus. Like, why can't they do it? I get rid of his Honchkrow easily enough and his Weevil falls quickly too. Gyarados is shocked away and his Crobat is not a problem either, and that's it, the big boss done. Yeah, this feels a bit underwhelming. Not like in Platinum where, I don't know, it feels like a lot more complete and makes more sense. I kind of understand what Cyrus is trying to do. However, Palika still needs to be fought. Yes, that's it. Send the small child to fight the Pokemon that can control time and can magically be trapped in a ball. Surely it can use time travel just to not get caught? Stupid, stupid story writing. Now the story is complete, it's time to finish the Pokemon League journey. It always is, isn't it? Beat the bad guys, then fight the final gym. Why not have a game where we're not even interested in the Pokemon League and instead just have to fight the big bad team the whole time? We go east of Lake Valor and meet with Flint to get his mate back into shape again. So I carry on and meet with Volcaner and have a quick 5-second conversation. It's all it takes to get him out of a slump. Flint just made it out like he's in a big depression, needs therapy, not just a quick hello mate, fancy a battle. Either way, I go to his gym, play with some switches to go fight the final leader, who looks like a lot like Naruto's father, Minato Namazaki. Yes, I used the Naruto reference, I love that show. He starts with a Raichu, and after a lot of messing around with paralysis, Dave gets his act together and smashes my god in 1. Luxray is next and it takes 2 hits, Octillery is not a threat at all, Ambi... Why have you even got that? It sent packing, which meant I get my final badge. With all the tools in my arsenal, I surf north and arrive in Victory Road. Why is it always a bloody cave? Why can't it be like Rainbow Road from Mario Kart? After fighting more trainers than I was happy with dealing, I arrived in the Pokemon League. Before we can do this, Titwank wants one more go at beating me. First is Staraptor, and before Dave can do anything, he buggers off to send in Heracross, which I do get rid of, and the monkey. Staraptor comes again to hit me with more Intimidate. Thankfully, Shockwave is a special move. Haha, stupid bird. Next is Floatzel, who takes my health a little bit lower before I zap it. Finally, it's Snorlax, which I can't finish in one due to the Intimidate, but I do manage to hold on and get rid of it with another return. His last Pokemon is Roserade, and I get lucky with it hitting itself, which allows my big monster to finish the job. Right, with that out of the way, it's time to get to the meat of the challenge, the Elite Four. But first, I stocked up on some new moves to get some coverage. I loaded in Double Team just so I can hold out until I kick myself into gear. First up is Aaron, who starts out with the Dustox, who also wants to use Double Team, but I smack it in 2 returns. Heracross faces the wrath of me in full power and goes down in 1. Vespiquen is sent packing, as is Beautifly and Drapion. Aaron is such a joke of a leader. Next is Big Bertha, and she starts with Quagsire, and with a mixture of confusion and double team, Dave is able to come out swinging, although it turns out that Quagsire kills itself. Sudowoodo is returned but finishes off poor Dave. I now know I need a fighting move, so I have to go get Drain Punch, which helps with the recovery. This means that I try again. Golem is taken out, as is a Sudowoodo, Hippowdon is returned, as is Quagsire. Wishcash goes down, and Dave barely has any health left, but I manage to get the win. Third up is the hot-headed Flint. Rapidash is unable to fight Dave at full power, the monkey takes me down to 1 HP, but I do get rid of it. Lopunny goes down in 1 return, and I use Drain Punch on Steelix, which gives me not really much back. Thankfully Steelix can't hit me, which allows me to get some more health back, and then Flint heals it, which gives me even more health back. Finally it's Drifblim. Hang on, he has 2 fire Pokemon out of 5? Are you even a fire gym leader? But then I realise, oh bugger, I can't hit the thing as I have Return and Drain Punch. This means the last battle was for absolute nothing. I decided to get rid of Drain Punch for Thunder as I really didn't need it anymore. With Double Team in hand, I got past the Steelix okay and was able to bring the power of Zeus against the Drifblim, which meant that was 3 done. The final member of the Elite Four is Lucian, who from the outset just seems like a rip-off from Will from Gen 2. He starts off with Mr. Shit, and I'm very happy to hit it with a full power return. Medicham did nothing, nor did Alakazam, or Giraffe thingy, and his Bronzorg was the only one that didn't fall in 1, but it still had nothing and it just rang off. With this, the Elite Four is done, it's now time to go fight the champion, Cynthia, who really didn't do much in this game, nor did any of the characters I should add. Here we go, let's see what the story's last battle has to throw at me. Spirit Tomb allowed me to get double teams up and then I thundered to finish it. Lucario survived the returns, healed but couldn't survive a 4th hit. The power of Lucario always scares me and I believe that thing could have stopped the whole run. The mighty Garchomp missed the Brick Break and hit itself, meaning I can get rid of it. Gastrodon was nothing at all, like it's terrible in singles, only use that thing in doubles. And Milotic was next, but again it meant absolutely nothing to me. Her last Pokemon is Roserade, which you've already seen will go down in 1. And that's it, the Elite Four's done, and actually that wasn't that hard. Okay, granted, I did have King Reggie, and he was a high level, but that's not my fault. I didn't even grind, I just fought the things as they came at me. However, as always, there is one little thing we need to finish. I get the option to go to the battle zone where we meet this little punk kid, but to be honest, I really don't care for his story, I only care for one thing. I travel the world to fill my Pokedex, but the challenge is held up because I need to wait for a Friday to encounter one of these bloody things. With my Pokedex now complete, it means I get to do this bit of the story, wasting my time to be honest. With this done, we go see Titwank yet again, and here we can have our final battle. Now technically I could fight a powered up version of the Elite Four 20 times to get Titwank to have his strongest team. However, I feel if I did that, Dave will definitely be level 100, which means he'd be way too strong for this battle. So I'm going to fight him as I am, no extra grinding, and this is it, the battle of the century, maybe. He sends out Staraptor, which lowers my attack with Intimidate. I do get rid of it with Thunder, but I'm already at low health. I use a double team and a Confuse Ray on the Heracross is able to finish me off. Heracross is such a bitch because it hits like a truck, and I lost count of how many times it actually did finish me off. I eventually get rid of it and it's onto the monkey, and with a mixture of Confuse Ray and Evasion, I smack it out of the way. Staraptor U-turned earlier, so it came out to add on more intimidation to me, which meant Thunder was my best option. I did manage to get rid of it and also the Floatzel. Snorlax rolls in and I get very lucky and the confusion means it knocks itself out. The final Pokemon of this challenge is Roserade and I finish off with a critical hit return. Thank God this is done. I thought this final battle could have been an absolute pain, but overall, you know what, I've enjoyed this challenge as I like Regigigas and I loved a Regigigas called Dave. And it's not long again until we see this thing in Sword and Shield. In 3 weeks time, we're going back to Pokemon Crystal, where we're going to try and beat the game with a bird that really has been forgotten, Natu. And until then, I've been HBT, and this has been Dave the Legend. Bye bye.